Today I'm going to show you how to make these absolutely adorable little flower granny squares. Now they're very simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. We're going to create the center, work little puff stitches around to make our flower, and then your standard granny shells for the last 2 rounds. These are great for blankets, pillow covers. You can use any colors that you like and sew them together. I will do a tutorial in the future on joining these together in different ways. But for now, we're just going to focus on the individual squares. For this project, I am going to be using a 6mm crochet hook, but like I said, you can use any size hook that you want. I'm also using some scrap acrylic yarn in yellow, white, and this purple. But again, you can use any color combinations that you like. You'll also need scissors and a yarn needle to weave in all of those ends. To start the center of our granny square, we are going to chain 4. So you want to start with a slip knot on your hook. You can also use a magic ring if you prefer that method, but I'm going to chain 4 and slip stitch back into that first chain, and that will create our little ring. I am going to chain 3, and I'm going to work right into the center of this circle. I'm going to work 7 double crochets. So that chain 3 that we just did acts as a double crochet. We want 8 total, so I'm going to put 7 more in. I just did that one. I'm going to work 6 more now, so I have a total of 8 stitches around and 8 double crochets. Once you have your 7 double crochets and your chain 3, so 8 total stitches, pull that tail closed and slip stitch to join. You can always count your stitches around. Make sure you have 8 if you're unsure. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. At this point, if you want to weave in your tails before continuing, go ahead and do that. I am just going to leave my tails and weave them all in at the end. Take your second color that you want to use for your petals. I am going to be using white and just put a slip knot on there. Now I'm going to take that off, grab my center, and I'm going to put my hook into any stitch around. Put that new color on my hook and just slip it through. The petals are going to be a series of half double crochet puffs. So we want to chain 2, yarn over, go right back into that same stitch where we joined and pull up a loop, and we want to have 9 loops on our hook. So make sure that they're kind of loose. You don't want to be too tight. Yarn over again, put your hook in that same spot and pull up a loop. I've got 5 loops on my hook. Yarn over again, pull up a loop. I've got 7. One more time, yarn over and pull up a loop. I should have 9 loops on my hook. I'm now going to yarn over and pull through all 9 of those. Chain 1 to secure, and there's your little puff stitch. I'm going to chain another into the next stitch around. I'm going to work a puff stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, put my hook in, drop a loop, yarn over, drop a loop. I have 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. I should have 7. One more time, pull up a loop. I have 9 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull back through all 9. And there's my second puff stitch. Now you should work this all the way around and at the end you'll have 8 little puff stitches. Always remember to chain 1 at the end to secure that puff stitch, and then chain 1 to get over to your next stitch. We'll work another puff stitch. Chain 1 to secure, and chain 1 to jump to the next stitch. I have just worked my last puff stitch. I chained 1 to secure, chained another 1 to jump, and all you want to do is just find that stitch from your first puff stitch, any stitch right there on the top, and slip stitch to join. Fasten off. Again, if you like to weave in your tails as you go ahead and take a moment to weave in your tails, and we will then start the third color border for our granny flower square. Once you have your little flower center done, pick up your third color. Go ahead, put a slip knot right on your hook, and then kind of pop it out there. Grab your flower, and you can insert your hook in between any one of these puff stitches. So I'm just going to put my hook right through that one. Grab the new color, pull it through, and now we're going to work the granny shells. Going to chain 3 and work 2 more double crochets into that same little space. The chain 3 that we did to begin counts as a double crochet. This is going to be 1/2 of my first corner. So it would be this shell right here. We're going to work around and then finish off this corner up here when we get around. To get to the next space, I'm going to chain 1 and work 3 double crochets right into that next space in between my little petals. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next space. Oops, 3 double crochets. And this is going to be a corner. So we started with a corner over here, and we'll finish it up when we get back around. This is a top part, and here is our next corner. For the corners, I'm going to chain 2 and then work another shell, so 3 double crochets right back into that same spot. We're going to jump to the next space in between our petals, chain 1 to get over there, and 3 double crochets into that space. Into the next one, this is going to be a corner. To get over there, I'm going to chain 1 and work 3 double crochets into that space. Get my tails out of the way. So 3 double crochets, and that is the first half of my corner. To finish it, we want to chain 2 and work 3 double crochets right back into that space. find the next space, chain 1 to get over there, and work 3 double crochets into that space. You can see we've got start of a corner here, our second corner, third corner. Here's our last corner up here. To get over to that space, I'm going to chain 1 and work a corner, so 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets right in that same space. We've got one more space. We're going to chain 1 to get to that space, work 3 double crochets, and here we are at the end. We need to finish this corner. To get there, we need to chain 1, work 3 double crochets into that same place that we started out of, the last thing we need to do to finish our corner, chain 2 and then slip stitch to the top of our chain 3. And that is round 3. So we've got our little center, our flower petals, and now our first round of the granny shell. We're going to work one more round and then we'll be done. To do the 4th row and our final row, we need to get to this first space over here. To do that, we're just going to slip stitch across those few stitches, slip stitch into that space, and now we can start working around. Chain 3 and work a shell. So 2 double crochets, because our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. We've created a shell there. We need to jump to this space. To do that, I'm going to chain 1 and work 3 double crochets. We need to get to this corner space over here. To do that, chain 1, work the first half of the corner, so 3 double crochets into that corner space. And to complete the corner, we need to chain 2 to kind of turn that corner, and we're going to work 3 more double crochets into that very same spot. And we've completed that corner. We need to jump to the next space, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and you're just going to work this all the way around. Chain 1, 3 double crochets. We're back at another corner. Chain 1 to get over to that corner, work 3 double crochets into that corner space, chain 2 to get around that corner, and 3 double crochets into that very same space, and that will complete our corner. Next space, to get over there, chain 1 and work 3 double crochets. Chain 1, find the next space and work 3 double crochets. We're going to jump to that corner, so we need to chain 1, 3 double crochets into the corner, chain 2 to get around the corner, and 3 double crochets into that same corner space. Now we're almost done. Another space, chain 1 to get over to that space, 3 double crochets, chain 1, jump to the next space, 3 double crochets, we're at our last corner here. Chain 1 to get over to the corner, work 3 double crochets into that corner, chain 2 to get around the corner, and work 3 more double crochets into that same space. Now we're back where we started. We need to jump over to join right here. To do that, we're going to chain 1 and then just put a slip stitch into the top of that first stitch, which was our chain 3. And you've got your square. At this point you can fasten off, pull your yarn up, you can weave in your ends, and you have a little granny square flower. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on how to make the little flower crochet granny squares. These are perfect to combine into blankets or pillow covers, baby blankets, scarves, just about anything. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming crochet, knitting, or Tunisian crochet tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye!